June the 12th, 2025, a Thursday. We're in the middle of the morning session here now, so let's see what is happening here quickly after the 8:30 news release. Starting with the indexes, a little bit of back and forth, but look at these, what is turning out to be potentially a beautiful failure test, and the journey will continue to the previous high, most likely. So there's no change in the behavior of the indexes. Let's also look at the NQ. The failure test is even more pronounced on the NQ. Look at the 15-minute chart. Here we go. And most likely we're going to continue this journey, but not in a straight line. So we are trading this structure on the daily, remember, or at least stay on the 4-hour chart. That's the way I see this. And the YM and the RTY, quick look. They're both worth being long. Look at this. We detailed a little bit the differences between the RTY and the YM and the NQ and the ES. So go back to the previous video to see what we said about the situation, but I think these longs are looking good. We also said yesterday that the currencies are set up nicely to the upside, but there's a complete lack of momentum. Now that has changed. Now all of them are moving, so sometimes you just need a little patience. A setup is a setup. If it takes 3-4 days, well, then be it, but we are holding on to the position here. And now, for those of you who were in this trade on the 6E, the 1R target area, the previous pivot, you see in this case the two are the same, has been hit. If you look at the Market Scanner Pro, you can also see that there is a long setup, or long signal actually, on the 6A right now, and there's also 3 long setups. So the signal is a situation where the setup has already triggered. The 4-hour chart, we have the algorithmic signal moving to the upside. Having said that, I would rather look at the structure and the whole opportunity on the daily chart and size accordingly and just travel up to the 67-ish area on the daily, the upper Keltner, perhaps on the weekly chart. Also note that several prices here on several markets are outside the Keltner. That means that good and healthy, strong moves are behind us. And now we are waiting for pullbacks on these markets. We don't like to enter long outside the Keltner. We want to wait for price to return towards the middle, at which point we will have setups here in this column. So it is not an accident, if you think about it logically, that we don't have a setup and price outside the Keltner in the same market. You see, if there's price outside the Keltner, that means that the trade or the potential move has been done because we have reached the move has occurred. Okay? If there's a long setup, then price is usually not outside the Keltner. Actually, it's almost guaranteed it will not be outside the Keltner. That's why what we see here is quite logical according to our methodology, and numbers just show the objective picture. If there's a setup, there's still room to go. That's why we want to trade it. If the trade has occurred, completed, price has made the journey, then it will show up here in the Keltner score column. So consider these, go back to all the videos about the Market Scanner Pro and see how this structure helps you in your trading. There's several other columns. I'm not going to go into the details, but if you're new to Premium, make sure you understand this. This is where we make our money in the Market Scanner Pro. All right. CL is next. Beautiful triple R move. Look at this. Make sure you understand the meaning of the third column, triple R. If you're new to this, 4.5 is extreme move on the CL. But look at this. Nothing you didn't know about. The measured move objective has been completed, has been hit. And now, most likely, we're consolidating here a little bit before we potentially move further up. Just know that the exhaustion has occurred on the 4-hour chart, so this is a situation which the market needs to digest. So there's no reason to be in a trade right now on the CL. Okay, and probably similar stuff on the correlated markets. Let's look at the RB, almost 1R, and HO was the other one that we looked at. That was the one that moved first, remember, before the other two. And, well, by and large, definitely hit the upper Keltner, almost hit the 1R. So if you did this, you're out of this trade also. A whole asset class on which our prediction has proved to be accurate in the past 2-3 days. Let's move on to metals, on which GC is relentlessly going up like a balloon. What can we do? So now most likely 3,500 will be retested. Gold can easily go to 4,000, even 5,000. Nobody knows. SI is nicely set up. A couple of days ago, we said that we would prefer a little bit of consolidation here and a retest of this breakout area. This is a very important piece of the puzzle in our thinking that we employ all the time. So go back a video 1 or 2, I'm not sure which one it was, but probably the previous one. We talked about this consolidation. This is exactly what's happening. Bottom tail. We have the bull flag on the 4-hour chart. It's all coming together. Now, there's no guarantees. We could still break down, but I think if you do want to consider a long on the SI, this could be, and you're not long yet, then this could be the area, perhaps your last chance to go long for now, because once we've broken out, look at this, there will be no stopping probably till 50. I'm not going to bother with the long-term chart, but you've seen the long-term chart many, many times before. PAPL, similar structure, consolidation in the breakout area. This is expected. We've seen this a million times. What we expect now from this is a move to the upside. Also, if you're still looking very much intraday charts, I'm not trying to convince you of anything, but these structures, they can have a million different little details on the intraday chart, about which we do not care really, because we only keep our focus on the daily. What can we say? Is it 2R or just about? Beautiful action here. But remember, we are just testing the 1300 area here. We go, which was in our book a couple of days ago. Okay, and we also should mention ZF, on which we expected a short breakdown here, which triggered, and this was a complete failure. So if you were short here, hopefully you were not, but if you took this short, you had to manage yourself out of this position because this is just a massive pattern failure. This is a situation where the short setup, the pattern that we trade, just didn't work, absolutely didn't work. If you find yourself in a situation like this, you have to manage yourself out of the trade with the least possible damage. Okay, so we had examples for all kinds of situations today. Let's continue the journey. We'll be back tonight, Thursday night, for the Friday session. If you're new to Premium and if you have any questions, please write an email. I'm happy to guide you, and we can also have weekly sessions if there's an interest in the membership. Also, we have new membership options. If you want to check out these ones, if you click here on the Premium page, Premium Packages, you will see that the annual package now includes all the software. We want to do it this way to make it a little easier to benefit from everything we do. Our services, our education, our software, everything is included in one package. And I think you can still use the Shark15 coupon code to grab a deal either here, or if you prefer just purchasing software for yourself, then also in the shop. And last but not least, go to the blog to check out the recording of our session here with Shark Indicators on Tuesday. Thank you very much. We'll be back tonight. Until then, mindful trading.